Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie, and as always, I've got Noel here with me. Hi, Noel.
Hello.
So this week we are going to be looking into 3 different platforms that you can use for automations within your business. So a lot of people don't just get stuck with what to automate, but it's also like, even before that, it's then kind of like, well, what platform do I use? Or, how do I even do this? So we just thought we would give you a rundown of the 3 most popular platforms that both of us have used. And we will give you some pros and cons and some like personal insights as well. Are you ready now?
Oh, I'm always ready.
Are you?
Not really.
Okay, so as always, we just love to jump straight into it. No fluff, no hyping things up, no bro marketing here. We give very honest advice. No one's sponsoring us. So we are very lucky that we can just, give our opinions. Okay, Noel, what platform would you like to start with first?
I think we should probably start with Zapier.
Okay, I feel like it's one of the older platforms as well. Like this has been around for years. Yeah. And I feel like most businesses are aware of it as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay, let's start with that. So can you give us some pros or
I guess one of the first big pros is the amount of apps that are already in here. So they claim they've got more than 8,000 apps already ready and raring to go for you to connect into, which is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
There's no digging through documentation trying to figure out how to connect stuff. So that's always a positive. They also have some really good agents as well, and chatbots and things like that you can add in. They are add-ons, so that we'll talk about those in the add-ons in a bit. But they are there. They work really well.
Add-ons aren't a pro.
Not really, but yeah, I would say it's fairly easy to use. Would also be a pro. I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it's definitely not. It's in the middle of the 3, I'd say. So yeah, that's definitely. It's nice and beginner friendly. It's got all those apps that you can use, and things like that. So yeah, I would say a good place to start for some businesses.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like it's it connects to so many different apps. For me, who has used it for my coaching and consulting business, I feel like it. Whenever like we want to connect, sales pages to checkouts or to emails and things like that, like it's always been able to connect to to the places that I've always wanted it to connect to, and doesn't take a lot of time to do.
No, because their builders are fairly straightforward. There's quite a lot of guardrails in their builder, which does make it beginner friendly. So, when you add in an app, it says, well, this is all the things you can do. And then when you select one, it goes, well, now you've selected that. This is the only things that you can do after that kind of thing. So that does constrain it. So unlike other apps where you can connect anything to anything, not that that's a good thing. So that might not work.
Okay, so what are some cons of Zapier?
So I'd say probably the biggest con is the price.
Yeah, do you know what? I was going to say exactly the same thing. So you get a certain amount of zaps for free.
You do. Well, I think they've kind of changed it in the past few months. So there is they do have a free tier, which is good.
Yeah.
but you can only have 2 steps in your Zaps,
Yes.
which isn't a lot. So you're taking data from one platform, send it to another. You can't do anything else after that.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal. And I'm just trying to figure out what it means by 100 tasks per month. So I think that kind of I'm not sure actually what that means on their pricing page. They don't actually talk about tasks. So yeah, okay. Not sure. But either way, yeah, not a great start. When it comes on to like the professional plan, so I'm just going to do everything as pay monthly.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
And is this in US dollars?
Yes, it will be. Yes. So it will be $29.99 per month, and with that, you do get some extra bits in there. You can have multi-step zaps, so you can upgrade, to have as many as you wish.
Yeah.
And you get unlimited premium apps. So that's also a concern, really, because it's like, well, what if I want to use that app when I'm on a free tier, just testing it out?
Yeah. So what are they classing as premium apps? Do they give any examples of what those are?
I've just clicked on it on their website, and so Facebook ads. Here we go. Webhooks. Ooh, yeah. Webhooks are kind of important when it comes to automation. A lot of things would run off of a webhook. So yeah, that's a bit of a red flag for me.
Okay.
Salesforce, Shopify, QuickBooks, Zendesk.
Shopify's a premium app?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's
you can't use the premium apps on a free tier?
No.
Okay, that's so interesting because you used to be able to do that. So they changed it.
Yeah, they have changed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does say premium apps are exclusively available to users on paid plans.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do have some AI in this level as well, so on the professional level. So yeah, they allow to connect OpenAI accounts. They don't talk about any.
Sorry, the professional account per month was $29.99 per month.
Yes.
Okay.
That does also restrict you as well for the number of tasks per month. So I've just worked out what a task. So a task is how many times you're going to run your automations, or if you had one automation, you could run that 700 times per month.
Yeah.
So on the professional plan, you can only run 750 zaps per month.
Okay.
You can go up to 2 million zaps per month if you wish. But yeah, that'll set you back over $5,000. So yeah, probably not.
Whoa. Per month.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Not great.
Okay. Yeah. So the biggest barrier to using Zapier is the price.
It is, yeah. When we like I said, we also mentioned they have add-ons as well. So they've got agents, which I've seen online. I've never tried them myself, but I have seen people use them. They do work rather well. But yeah, again, that's not included.
Okay.
Well, no, there is a free plan.
Yeah.
Doesn't really give you a lot per month. To have 400 activities per month. So I guess that's 400 times you can call it or use as tools within the app. Other than that, you've then got to add $50 a month if you want a bit more.
Okay.
So yeah, you're looking $80 a month if you've got both.
Okay. Yeah, so quite pricey.
Yes. And then chatbots is also something separate as well.
I do feel like Zapier, though, has always been quite expensive.
Yes. Yeah, I always found that.
It's not like they've just put their prices up. I feel like they've always been quite expensive. And, most of us, like online business owners have been trying to use the free plan as much as possible. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. They also have chatbots as well, but those you can have 2 chatbots for free, but they've got really old, I would say. So you've got GPT-4o Mini and 4.1 Mini, which aren't the best OpenAI models.
Okay.
And then, other than that, you've got to then add another $20 a month. So, yeah, if you want chatbots, lots of zaps and an agent, then you're $100 in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Should we move on to the next platform?
Yeah, I think the next one, should we do N8N?
Okay.
Okay, so N8N is a lot different to Zapier, I would say.
Yeah. I would say very different.
Yeah, very, yeah. So let's just go through the pros. So there is an option where you can use it just like Zapier. So you log into N8N on their website and then you have access to the builder. So that's one way of accessing it. The other way, which is a big pro for most companies, is you can also host it on your own server. So that could be a virtual server, it could be a physical server within your business. And that just really means that you control your data. Whatever you're connecting in doesn't go to the outside world. So we don't have to trust the cloud environment that these platforms are providing. So, we can go add more sensitive things in there if you wish.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got that extra level of security and you're in charge of that. And obviously that's completely free as well. So if you do that, you can go absolutely crazy. I think there's a few enterprise features that they don't have within the option, but for most people, they'll just want to have this running 24/7, or they'll want to use it for really big complex automations, which in like Zapier is going to use up a lot of zaps because you're probably running it every few minutes. And the same with Make as well, because how their pricing works. So yeah, for N8N, having that is brilliant. You can go crazy.
Go crazy.
Yeah. If you don't fancy doing that, like I say, they do have a cloud version as well, which is billed at, that is £24, and I can't change it to dollars.
Okay.
So you look at about $30 per month. For that. But yeah, you do get they do restrict for the amount of workflows or automations that you can run concurrently. So you can only have 5 on that base plan, which is a bit restrictive. In fact, they restrict even on the pro plan at £60 per month. That's saying you can only have 20 automations running at the same time, which again is a bit
That's
restrictive.
quite restrictive, isn't it? Especially for that sort of money as well, I think, per month.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. They do have, I guess, kind of a pro is they do have access to some of the main apps. So there's no gatekeeping like Zapier when it comes to the, there's no pro tier.
Yeah, there's no premium apps. Like you've got access to everything.
Yes, although it's not as much. I don't think they actually state anywhere on their website.
So they don't have as many connections to apps as Zapier.
They've got 1,185, which is very precise.
Okay. Yeah. And Zapier was it over 8,000?
Over 8,000, yeah. But then they've been going for so much longer.
They've been going for years and years.
Yeah. Whereas N8N, they are quite new. So yeah, they're still building up their library. And I believe they can have users input, their integrations and things like that. So if there's an app that isn't on here, they can go off and create that and then supply it in then as a community node, which is kind of helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just trying to think if there's any other pros. I would say the speed of building agents is probably quite good if that's one thing you're looking into. That's kind of really, really simple with a drag and drop interface. You just have your agent and you all on one view as well. So you can just say, well, I want to connect in with OpenAI and I want that model. And then you can then assign all the different tools, and that's all within one view. And yeah, that's something where other tools, which we'll come onto in a bit later on, kind of falls over.
Okay.
But yeah.
So just comparing it back to Zapier. So I know this was in the cons, which we'll probably get onto now. We were saying, it was because you mentioned agents. So with Zapier, agents were an add-on, and as were chatbots.
Yep.
Is that the case here, or?
No, definitely not the case.
Okay.
They're fully included throughout.
Is a great pro.
Yes, and actually their chatbot interface is actually pretty good. You can basically create like a chatbot trigger node within N8N, and then it will then give you the code so you can go off and then embed it on your website. And it's really, really simple and straightforward to do. There are some limitations when it comes to editing the look and feel of it, but if you just want to get something there and working really, really quickly, then N8N can do that within a couple of minutes. And yeah, you would just connect that into an agent or your automation, whatever you wish to have it access to. And yeah, awesome. All of that is all built in for free. But obviously, if you were, local hosting this, then you're not then limited for the amount of times that will run. But if you had the cloud plan, you could only have
that's where you're limited.
So you would only for your chatbot on your website, you would only be able to send and receive 2,500 messages per month.
Okay.
If that was all that was running on that account. So that's not great.
So let's go into the cons then properly for this platform.
Yeah. So one of the big ones is probably the learning curve. So I started out my journey on the other app we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
But where I thought, oh, well, I like this, I like the sounds of N8N, local hosting and all that sort of stuff. But there was still quite a big learning curve from going from one tool to another.
Yeah.
Mainly because you kind of need some sort of like coding knowledge in order to use it. So when we're connecting nodes together in the automation, you can drag and drop. Say I want the data from this app and I want it to go into this field within the next app. That's kind of common over all three. But with N8N, they kind of have, instead of like making it really simple and saying, well, that's the data from there, they go, well, this is $JSON and then loads of like a code snippet.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what that's doing. And then sometimes you would need to then type that in. So you would need to know how N8N works in the background to be able to create those JSON strings and get the data connected, which is, kind of frustrating.
Yeah. So you may actually need help with this platform. Like if you want to use this platform, you like what it can do and you like the price point of it and, you like how it's going to integrate into your business. Maybe the con of this is actually that you then need to, hire someone to actually, create those automations for you.
Potentially, yes. Yeah. They have a massive database, actually, of community automations already. So one that you might want might already be in there, which is kind of handy. And I would say a good pro, is when you import workflows into N8N, they seem to work far better than they do on other platforms. So with other platforms, there's a lot of configuring and setting up. It can bring through errors, whereas I always find with N8N, if I import a workflow, it works almost straight away. So that's kind of helpful. But you would need to really dig into it and learn the platform in order to use it properly, I would say.
Or you can just hire someone like us.
You could do, yes, absolutely.
Yes. And
we've been through all that pain.
Yeah,
we're ready to go.
All of your automations for you. What a pro that is.
Exactly. In fact, actually, that one thing with the JSON string, that's one of the things that Make.com track. So they have a list internally of all the features that N8N has that Make.com does better, and that this is one of them. And they're like, it's not very beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Okay, so other cons.
I'm not sure there's that many. Well, actually, no, I did find another one earlier for N8N, and although they've got 1,000 odd apps already in here, not all of the API endpoints are there. So I looked at HubSpot on their website, and basically they listed a fair few of the API endpoints, but there wasn't that many. And then you look at Make.com, and then they've got like 100 API endpoints for the same app. So yeah, although that app is there, probably expect that not every API endpoint for that application is ready and available.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do supply modules where you can, add those in, and then, so you can still use that functionality of those applications. So that is possible, but obviously you would need a bit more technical knowledge to get that up and running.
I think it's a very technical platform, this one.
It is,
I feel like it's the biggest learning curve out of all of them.
Yes, yeah. And I would say, well, back in the day when we were using Zapier, I would say that at that time for me was quite steep, but now I would say is far, far easier than N8N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we move on to the last platform?
Yes.
Noel's favourite, Make.com.
Oh, we've got no favourites here.
Okay, we're neutral at the moment.
Yeah, we're Switzerland right now.
Okay, so let's start then with some pros for Make.
So with Make, I would say pricing is a big pro. They have updated recently how they've introduced a new credit system. So I would say the pricing is still very competitive, even with those slight changes.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, there is actually a really good free plan. To start off with the free plan first. With that one, you get access to everything. There's no gatekeeping. I don't think, actually, no, there is. You don't get access to agents, but you can get them on a 30-day trial, I believe, if you sign up for a free account. So that gives you plenty of time to test it out and see if you like it. But on their free account, you can use 1,000 credits per month. So basically, if your automation has 5 applications, so 5 steps, that would use 5 credits. So, you could then run that X amount of times per month.
I feel like they're very generous with their free plan.
Yes, it is quite generous. Yeah. And then getting access to all of the apps and everything like that.
So how many apps do Make have?
So they currently have, stated on their website, is over 3,000 currently.
Okay.
So not as much as Zapier.
No, but more than N8N.
Yes, a lot more. Yeah, double. But I would say they cover all the bases. They've got all the big ones in there. You've got your Monday.com, HubSpot, Salesforce. You've got all of the AI platforms are in here.
And again, with this platform, there's no premium apps versus regular apps.
So there is potentially. So on the free plan, they say 2,000 plus apps, but then you look at their apps page and it says 3,000 plus. So I don't know if there's kind of they haven't updated one from the other.
I was going to say, is that someone not updating the web pages or
probably?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm looking at what comes within the core plan, which is the first paid plan, and it makes no mention of any additional apps. So
that could just be a little update that they haven't done.
Yeah, I would say it's only been recently where they've actually updated it to over 3,000. So yeah.
Maybe this is something that we can find out and let people know for.
Yes, we can ask them this week.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. So another pro for Make.com is the ease of use. And although it's kind of complicated in a sense, so I spoke to one of the VPs at Make at their event last year, and he was kind of worried that when you first open the platform for the first ever time, you go off to create your automation and you just met with a big purple plus. And then he's like, that could be really, really overwhelming for someone that has no idea about what to do. You click the plus and it goes, well, now you have access to all of the apps. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But they do give you, access to absolutely everything. But then there's also templates as well that are built in. And one real big pro for new users is using these templates, because you can go through and then say, well, I like this particular template. It's going to take data from the app I already use, and it's going to put it somewhere where I want it to go and stuff like that. So you can say, well, take me through a guided setup of this template. And instead of just giving you the template and then go, right, now figure out how to connect all of those apps in to make, it takes you through a step-by-step process. And it will say, well, if the first app on there is like Airtable as an example, it'd be like, right, you now need to go off and connect your Airtable account into Make. And, it can go off and then guide you through that process. And then the next app might be OpenAI. So it goes, right, well, now you need to go off and get your API key from OpenAI. Yeah. This is how you do it. And then once you've gone through the entire process, your automation's sat there ready to go. None of the other platforms do that sort of hand-holding.
Yeah.
So, really, really helpful for anyone that's just starting out.
Yeah. Also, I think a pro for Make is that they are very open to feedback from users.
Very open.
Which is great. And this is definitely, I would say, not the norm for a lot of platforms.
No.
I've only known a handful of platforms to do this. So yeah. I feel like that is definitely worthy of a mention.
Definitely, yeah. Because I feel as if I sent an email to Zapier, like, would they ever get back to you? Would it ever be a human that gets back to you? Probably not.
So we should also mention as well then that actually Make's customer service is pretty good.
Yes, definitely. Very good.
I think really makes a platform, like if your customer service is good, then that just makes such a massive difference.
It does, yeah. And I'll give two examples of their responsiveness. So I guess you could see that we're probably in maybe a slightly privileged position, I guess, because we've already interviewed Martin from Make, so I've already kind of got a side door into the organisation, so I can always email Martin different things, but and he'll get back to me.
And he also is in our membership AI Business Club, and he floats around in there as well. So we're able to have conversations with him in there as well, which is great.
Yeah, but before we'd even spoken to Make or Martin the first ever time, they just released they were about to release the grid, and it was in like a closed beta, and I had access to it, and I just had a look. They had some new updates that they'd done, and I thought, hold on a minute, this doesn't quite make sense. So I clicked the give feedback. I gave them detailed feedback on on my opinions and what I thought maybe should be there. And that was probably about 3 p.m. And then by 8 a.m. the next day, I'd had the lead engineer who was, leading the grid team. He was emailing me back going, thank you so much. This is really, really appreciative. We this is great feedback. And then within 10 minutes of that email, I then got an email from one of the developers on that team going, this is great. How would you like it to look? If forget any technical barriers, what would you like it to look like? Can we get a bit more information? And I was blown away by that
feedback, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the other bit of feedback was when they did the credit system. So it didn't fully make sense to me at the time. I remember I sent an email off to Martin, and within a week, I had a call set up with the head of AI to sit down with me for half an hour just to understand my viewpoints as a customer and things like that. He was like, yeah, we're taking all of this on board, and you can partially thank me for this, but they've got an app on there which is the data extractor, and at the time they were saying for every page of a document that goes through, that's going to cost you 20 credits. And I was like, wow, that's really expensive in terms of credits. and they kind of went off, had a look at it, and then sent me an email like a couple of days later and said, thanks to your feedback, we've halved it to 10. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was just for me, but it's for everyone. So yeah.
Well done, Noel.
I know, yeah. That happened within a week. So yeah, they took that feedback on board. I mean, Martin, I spoke to the head of AI on the Friday, and Martin emailed me on the Monday and said their team's already been talking about everything that you discussed. And they're taking action from there. So I was like, wow, okay. That's really good.
It's just great, though, that they were even willing to review it, I find.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Where they were like, no, we've set that. Someone set that. That's 20 credits. And then, they get feedback and they've gone, okay, let's review this. And they've reviewed it as a team, as a company, and they've gone, yeah, actually, okay.
They listen to feedback, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Another great positive, I guess, is the development speed, I would say as well. So agents became a big thing at the start of this year.
Yeah.
And I guess they weren't the quickest at releasing agents. N8N was all over it from day one, and all the YouTubers jumped all over that. And then Make Agents came out maybe a couple of months later.
Yeah.
And they've just continually updated that. So every time I seem to log in, they've added something new. And it's added more functionality, made things, a hell of a lot better. And they just keep adding more and more AI tools, which they host themselves into the platform that, just makes everyone's life that little bit easier. So we're not having to prompt an AI agent or an AI from like Anthropic or OpenAI. We don't have to figure that out. They've already done that for you. And you just got to plug it in and then off it goes and then does that for you. So you don't have to do some of the prompt engineering and things like that.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel the entry barrier for Make is just at a really great level, and I know from obviously the members, that we're teaching Make. I know people, who have had no automations or AI experience whatsoever are actually able to, build things using Make for the first time. Like following, the tutorial videos that we have inside.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is definitely the easiest platform to use.
Definitely, yeah. And it's also, as well as the community, it's also the so I've got courses on Udemy, and there's like over 500 people I've taught there, and their feedback is like, this is like so easy to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't dream of teaching the other two platforms. I just find that Make is just beginner friendly.
I agree.
And when we talk about the paid plans as well, so I don't think we mentioned that, but the first paid plan is $10.59 a month.
Okay.
And that gives you access to 10,000 credits per month, which
what
is
does
loads.
That equate to?
So that would be how many steps within your automation. So like I say, if you've got 5 steps in your automation, you run that once, you use 5 credits.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also a thing in there as well where if you're using their AI internally, so if you're using Make's AI within their AI tools, then you do then incur some additional credit costs. But they do make that really, really clear and upfront, so you can just hover over it and go, well, this is going to cost you, 5 credits every time you run it. And you're like, right, okay.
Yeah.
But do I want to spend that 5 credits there, or do I just want to switch it out for OpenAI and then get that to do it for 1?
Yeah.
So there's that trade-off.
Okay. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so should we talk about the cons of Make? Is this difficult for you, Noel?
Yeah, I would say one of the cons for me is probably, and it was actually for Corky Ballas as well. He really didn't like their AI chatbot in the corner, which is there to help you out. So if you hit any errors or anything like that, there is a help bot that's within the scenario builder. It's not amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, if you do get stuck, then yeah, you can't really ask that much of it. What I would say on the flip side of that is their help documentation is really comprehensive. So you would then have to then go off and look it up yourself and figure things out.
Okay. Or you can come into the AI Business Club and you can just ask Noel, and Noel usually has the answer.
yeah. If not, though, within the community, we there is a custom GPT which looks through all of Make's help files. So yeah, it actually works a bit better than Make's own help AI, which is kind of helpful.
Do they know this? Do they know that our custom GPT is actually better than their help bot?
They will.
Will they hack?
Well, we're going to the conference, aren't we, this week? Make Waves.
And that's one of the things you're going to tell them, is it?
Yeah, I'll tell Martin. He'll feed it to whoever needs to know.
Okay, can I not be around when you tell Martin that, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. I would say another con for Make is the amount of apps that they have available. Like we were saying, Zapier have over 8,000, Make has 3,000. So I feel like there's quite a way for them to go. And I know, like we were saying, like Zapier is a lot older. It's more established. It's been going for, like, I want to say easily 10 years.
Yeah, probably more than in Zapier. Yeah, definitely.
So I do get there. There's a massive difference. Make is relatively new compared to Zapier. So I get that's why there's not so many apps, but I have to put it as a con.
Yeah, absolutely. There is also another one as well where you might go. So what I ever say to people just starting out with Make is, you already know what tools you use in your business. So I would always say you go to the apps page on their website, and then you search to see that your tool already exists, and then you can then see all of the modules you then get access to, so all the different things you can do. But there are some that get tagged as community, and those are a third party has created those apps, and makers reviewed them and gone, that's fine, that meets our rules and stuff, and then they upload it onto the platform. But what it does mean is you'll then go off and you'll need to pay that third party to then access that application. Within Make. So if anything comes up tag community, then you would
there's a hidden cost that you may not be aware of.
There's not that many, though. I wouldn't say there's not a huge amount of community apps. But most of these apps are no, but at the moment, I would say, like, the apps that are there that are marked as community, they've already got really good API documentation, so there's nothing stopping you from implementing that yourself. And that's one thing, actually, the AI agent within the builder's good at. So you can give it the API call and then say, right, create me a HTTP module that does this, and then off it goes and does it.
Brilliant.
I use that all the time. So yeah, top tip.
Brilliant.
There's a fair amount in there, but they're kind of lesser known apps, I would say.
Okay. Good to know.
Mm.
Okay, so I feel that was a really good review of those 3 different platforms. Hope it has helped you decide which platform is going to be best for you. Obviously, we think if you're a beginner, then make.com is a really great place to start. And if you do need any additional help with Make or even building automations, then please just reach out to us. We would absolutely love to help you, whether it's with just straightforward automations, or if you want to add in that AI aspect into your automations as well. As always, we'll leave all the links for you below in our show notes, and we'll catch you for another episode very soon.